Welcome to the month of June, 30 days all about gin, shining a spotlight on craft-made Canadian. Fun facts and proper tastings, live cocktails Friday afternoons. Discover 14 different brands and be influenced by me. Song for a roll. That's right, I'm a song for a roll.
So hello everyone, and welcome to the 17th day of June, my 30-day salute to gin during the month of June. So today I continue to showcase made in Canada gin, and I have a double feature for you all, and I'm off to the 519 for a look and taste of DIXON'S Wicked Raspberry and Wicked Blueberry gin. So DIXON'S Distilled Spirits was founded in 2013 and actually came about following some casual conversation over drinks on a back deck. Now, how quintessentially Canadian is that? That initial chat quickly evolved into a passion project for husband and wife JD and Vicky Dixon to share their love for fine spirits with people across Ontario and beyond. And it soon led to the founding of the first craft distillery in Guelph, Ontario. And for the Dixons, the word craft wasn't simply going to be a marketing slogan. Absolutely not. They were and continue to be laser focused on sourcing and utilizing quality local ingredients to be used in producing artisanal small batch spirits. DIXON'S employs what they call a no-nonsense approach and commitment to ensuring they wow customers with their flavors. Now, there's a few key elements involved in crafting their award-winning spirits. And oh yeah, they have won awards, lots of them. You know, some of them from well-respected global titles such as the World Drinks Award, that several of their offerings, including their gins, have indeed won. So back to those key elements. Well, water is one of the key elements. Guelph, where they're located, has a revered water supply that is pure and very clean. And then there's the base for their alcohol distillate, locally sourced, high-quality Ontario-grown corn. And then there's their dedicated approach to the production of their spirits. Let's start with the vastly surpassing the industry average approach that they take for how many times a gin is distilled. Usually within the industry, you know, it's no big deal to see 3-5 times distillation, but no way. That is nowhere good enough for the folks at DIXON'S, and instead they're choosing to distill 18 times. Folks, that's more than 3 times the industry average. And then, if that wasn't enough, they carbon filter the distillate for 30 hours. 30 hours! All to make sure that those harsh tones that can often come about from distillation do not make it into their bottles. I did indeed say that these folks are passionate. And right along with that passion is creativity. You see, funny enough, gin wasn't originally in their plans when they created the distillery. Back then, gin seemed to be a product that folks only had horror stories from of their younger days. However, after a conversation with a distiller colleague, an idea was sparked for JD and Vicky. Why not make a gin their way? Forget about trying to fit into a style or traditional mold that's out there, and instead make something that tastes good and that people will love. Now, with that plan firmly in place, the DIXON'S got very creative with flavors and botanicals, all the while ensuring that juniper was indeed involved. It's just not the focal point, right? We need juniper to be gin, but again, for these guys, it just wasn't going to be their focus. They also took a less is more approach and shied away from overcomplicating their recipes with truckloads of ingredients, instead choosing to use a handful, or maybe just a bit more than a handful of ingredients, but each with a purpose. So 2 great examples of their creativity is these 2 bottles here to my left. Wicked Raspberry and Wicked Blueberry gin. Using Ontario raspberries along with a hint of blood orange, this is one of their prized creations. So let's dive in and have a taste. We're going to get our nose ready, right? We're going to calibrate 3 times, get our olfactory senses all set. 1, 2, 3. Now we're ready. Take a big sniff. You know, on the nose, it's fairly intense right away with big raspberry and a hint of citrus coming out. I get a little orange peel, maybe even a little orange pith in there. The juniper is there, but you got to dig for it a bit. Now, aside from the fruit, some more prominent notes are from herbs. So there's a bit of some herbal notes in here, like thyme and eucalyptus come to mind. And as well, I'm getting a little bit of a dried woodiness. And I got to say, the nose is not a sweet nose, right? It's more floral-like. Okay, now we're going to go in for a taste. We're going to move that around, move the gin around our mouth, coat our 5 flavor receptors. Sláinte. So right away, it's not heavy on the tongue, right? Not sugary. It's not overly sweet either. Now, it's not dry. But the sweet notes that are coming through, you know, they come through as natural sweetness. So this is nothing cloying here. So what am I tasting? Well, raspberry. Orange citrus ring right up front. Makes sense. And that's all followed by a little bit of a peppery spice. And then a little bit of like grassy herbal notes and maybe a touch of savory in there. The resin from the juniper is tertiary, and on the finish, I get raspberry along with a little dry woody note. Certainly very different, and also a little refreshing. Interesting. Okay, so let's now dive into the blueberry. Now, blueberry takes its inspiration from the slow gin style, right? Remember, we talked about that style on the 3rd day of Gi-Une, where I mentioned that slow berries, that's a fruit, slow berries, are infused with sugar in gin to make slow gin. Well, they didn't do that here, but that's just their inspiration. Alrighty, so on the nose, calibrate again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this one's fairly intense as well, but a touch less than I find with the raspberry. No surprise, blueberries are ringing out loud and clear. But I'm also getting a lemon-lime citrus note. And that's kind of helping keep the blueberry in check from being too overpowering. Juniper here is again secondary and almost mint-like. Citrusy, you know, orange, grapefruit notes spring up, along with a little bit of sweet floral and, you know, just a touch of spice. Let's go in for a taste. Slán. Okay, so on the palate, same as the raspberry, a little natural sweetness, but it's not sugar heavy on the tongue. Blueberry is right up front, but I'm also getting some herbal notes. And now there's this wave of kind of citrus coming through. Swoops right in. A little pine, a little fresh mint, followed by a little bit of a spicy note and just a little touch of heat. Again, very interesting. All right, so raspberry and blueberry, or wicked raspberry, wicked blueberry. Overall, what do I think? Well, up front, if you're someone who is bent on only being a purist and wants only traditional styles of gin, well then you're a boring old fuddy-duddy and these aren't going to be for you. Instead, my advice, lighten up, open your mind, and open your palate. You know, these are both very fun, they're very creative, and they're tasty. And they're all based upon quality ingredients and quality craft-made gin. And that's something I want to emphasize here. Both of these are every much gins as is a London dry style or other more traditional styles of gin, right? These are just different and they're new and they're out of the box thinking and exactly the kinds of gin that appeals to a growing audience out there. To me, they scream summer fun, and I can't wait to make some cocktails with them and to get my summer vibe going. Right, so intrigued, right? I've got you hooked in. How can you get a little wicked in your glass? Well, here in Ontario, you can get both at the LCBO. The raspberry, stock number 21258, and the blueberry, stock number 16859. Both are priced at $39.95 for 750 milliliter bottles, right? To me, that's lots of fun for 40 bucks. And now, here's another treat for you all. Thanks to Cassidy and the wonderful team at DIXON'S, I have a giveaway for my Canadian viewers and followers. So, I have this stylish DIXON'S cap and this Summer Ready DIXON'S t-shirt. Right? These are for you. To win, it's very easy. All you have to do is, you ready? Follow both Somme for All and DIXON'S Distilled Spirits on Instagram. Then share the post from this video on Instagram from your own Instagram account, making sure to tag Somme for All and 4 of your friends. Use the hashtag #SipWithSommeForAll when doing so. And bonus entry if you follow Somme for All on Facebook. And Somme for All is SOMM4ALL. So there you have it, folks. 2 vibrant and fun flavored gins with real taste from the good people at DIXON'S. Don't forget, tomorrow, the 18th day of June, I will be live on Instagram at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, making 5 gin-based cocktails using the 5 Ontario-made gins that I've showcased this week, including these 2 from DIXON'S. So thanks for tuning in today. Until next time, stay safe, be well, and cheers from Somme for All.